The number one way to scale your Amazon business in 2023 is going to be with advertising. There's no such thing as gray hat tactics, black hat tactics in order for you to be successful. And that is why we have partnered up with Trivium Group and the CEO, Mina Elias, to be able to take over our advertising for Voyaj so that we can show you behind the scenes on exactly what it takes to scale a brand on Amazon using pay-per-click advertising. So in today's video, this is gonna be the first of a two-part series. And today we're gonna be breaking down from a very high level the exact strategy that we're gonna take when it comes to launching our brand on Amazon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's dive in. What is up, guys? We are back here with another video of our EBB Launchpad series. And we're here with Mina, the CEO of Trivium Group, one of our gold sponsors. And they're going to be helping us launch our product to the masses on Amazon. So before we dive into today's video, what we're going to do is, Mina, I would like you to just do a quick little introduction and then we can get into to the meat.
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Mina. I've been friends with the Zap Twins since like 2 Prosper shows ago. I love it, man. It was awesome. It was, I think we met at like Helium 10's party or something. But
yeah, totally.
I am the founder of Trivium Group, which is an Amazon advertising and marketing agency. I started on Amazon in 2018 with my own supplement brand, MMA Nutrition. Grew it, scaled it to 7 figures. Started, sharing all of my knowledge and experience with, people who were starting out. People loved it. There was a very high demand for me to run their own brands, and then I ended up starting an agency in 2021. We now manage about 150 brands and have about 80 people on the team. Just trying to add as much value as possible to the industry. And I'm here. I'm excited about you guys' project because I did a similar one. I don't think quite as in depth as you, but I think people watching and your process and you documenting every step of like creating the business and finding the products and validating it and researching it and building it, all this stuff, and getting experts involved too. I think it's going to help a lot of people understand how to do the Amazon thing.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to say it's crazy that you're managing 150 brands because, like you said, 2 years ago, you were just starting and getting your feet off the ground. And it's funny because before this video, we were chatting about you building a personal brand and all these different things. And you don't know, I think at the end of the day, I don't think you know how big you are in the space, bro. You're absolutely crushing it. And I want to say kudos to you. In regard to the project, I agree. I think we're taking this really a step further. We have some really big sponsors, which have been a huge help. Data Dive, Ritz Momentum, obviously yourself. We have these subject matter experts that are really these top A players within their respective lanes. And we're bringing all of these strategies to light free of cost. Like, hey, let's show you exactly what we're doing to build this to $1 million brand and take the tactics, implement them in your business. And hopefully you can learn a few things. So in today's video, this is going to be actually a 2-part series. This video in specific, we're going to talk about a high level launch plan in regards to how Trivium is going to launch this product for us. And then in the second video, we're going to dive into actually creating that launch plan once our product is at port. And then from there, what we're going to be looking at over time from a performance standpoint. So Mina, I'm going to hand it over to you. Feel free to dive in and let's get it going.
Awesome. Okay. So, on my end, when I'm launching with PPC, my goal, like starting out, is to build relevance and then to identify all the search terms that are possible that I can. Now, there's this dynamic where when you're starting off, everything's not profitable. And as your, reviews build up, maybe you figure out some of the images aren't as good. And so you replace them and all this stuff. Maybe your price point was a little bit too high, you drop it, your conversion rate starts going up and all of your keywords start performing better. So it's a very delicate balance, but me and you will meet and I'll say, okay, how much are you willing to burn in the first month? And you're going to say, okay, something like, we're okay, like losing $4,000 in the first month and then 3,000 in the second month and then 2,000 in the third month. So now I know like my maximum loss, in profit, which is like your sale price minus your Amazon fees minus your cost of goods sold minus PPC spend is going to equal that, loss in profit. And so that's how I'm building my budget. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go as hard as I can for as long as I can while maintaining that loss. The dream here in the honeymoon phase is that we establish the highest sales velocity possible. And that means like the most number of units being sold every single day for the first 30 to 45 days. That, then triggers Amazon to say, this is a really good product. improve its organic ranking. Organic ranking means more sales for free because you're not paying for it, which means I can now spend even more money on ads, pushing you harder because your loss is going to be less. So now I can push it harder to bring it back to the agreed upon loss, which means more units being sold. And it's like this flywheel effect. And it all happens in the honeymoon phase. I've tried launching different ways. I've tried launching very conservatively. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to be profitable from day one. And those products have died. So I've actually discontinued them. They never survived. And then the ones where I'm like, I'm just going to spend a bunch of money, get a high sales velocity, and then whatever, they establish, good organic rank. And sometimes if you just maintain it at break even for a while and then cut down your ad spend, your organic rank will stay the same. It'll be pretty solid and your profits will go up. So my goal is, number one, I'm going to try and get you the most amount of sales velocity. Number two, I'm going to try to build the most amount of relevance, which means like Amazon knowing that and indexing you for all the right keywords. Plus, you're like, they think that you're related to your competitors. Obviously, the way that I'm going to structure it, and I'm going to go into the exact keyword research, but the way I'm going to structure it is discovery campaigns, so auto broaden phrase. So I'm going to take the main keywords and some long tail keywords, but mainly the main keywords. Auto campaign, I'll break it up into 4: close match, loose match, compliments, and substitutes. For you guys, I probably will not do compliments and loose match. The reason is I'm looking at your product. Okay. This is the product, guys, right? You can see here, this is like a hanging thing where you can put your clothes and then it folds into a bag. Some of these, I don't know if they are actually, it says portable travel shelves backpacking. So the thing that I'm afraid of is that compliments and loose match are going to go after, too many things like this, which it's not the exact same thing. So I'm a little bit worried about it. In general, compliments and loose match go after keywords and products that aren't that relevant. So you have to be very, very careful. So if you don't have the budget, I would say stay away from it. Okay. Honeymoon phase. Before I go deeper into the auto campaigns and stuff, the honeymoon phase is basically another name for Amazon's learning phase. When you put a product up on Amazon, Amazon's primary goal is to maximize their shopper experience and to sell the most number of units, by providing the shoppers with exactly what they want. When you put a new product up, they have no idea, if this product is good or not good. So in the honeymoon phase, if they said, okay, we're going to treat everyone equally, the best sellers will stay at the top and the new people, they haven't sold anything, they'll be at the bottom. You'll be in page 100 forever. And it's unfair. Maybe you're an amazing product, everyone wants you, but no one will ever get a chance to see you. So what they do is they give you this little unfair advantage in the first 30 days. And and let's say you have this main keyword, portable hanging shelves, 100,000 searches a month, whatever. Everyone at the top has tens of thousands of reviews, and you will be with 5 or 10 reviews right there at the top. And you're going to be like, how on earth am I at the top? And it's because Amazon's giving you a chance. They're saying, okay, let's say that this person was like everyone else. Let's give them a fair chance. How are they going to perform? If they notice that you have a good click-through rate and conversion, and a lot of people are coming in, and you have a lot of units being sold, and I think unit sales is the key metric here. If they notice that you have a lot of units being sold, they're going to say, this is a good product. It's providing a good customer experience. Let's increase its organic rank. So in other places where it's ranked organically on page 10, let's make it page 2 and page 1, improve its visibility because it's proven to get more sales. And so one way we can hack that, system, right? It used to be in the past, we would do search, find, buy. We'd go to people and we'd say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you the product for free. You just have to type in a keyword, find my product and buy it. So it looked like we have a very high conversion rate on those keywords. You can't do that anymore. Amazon said it's against terms of service. So the only other way to hack it is to spend aggressively on PPC, show up very high, even at a loss, because you're more likely to convert when you show up higher. And they're not worried that you're losing money on the ads. They don't care. They're not tying your ad spend and your ROAS with your, how good you are. They're looking at, okay, how many units are you selling in the first week, in the first 2 weeks? And they're and they know how everyone sold in the first week or two. And so when you're selling a lot of units right off the bat, what happens is they keep you up there. So you're continuing to sell 80, 90, 100 units a day. Your organic ranking is improving. And then over time, that gap between your spend and your sales will increase because your conversion rate keeps getting better. And now you're going to become profitable. As opposed to like if you try and start small, or if you run out of stock, for example, in the honeymoon phase or after the honeymoon phase, Amazon's like, okay, this is not a good customer experience. Let's put them down on page 3 or 4. And you're fighting and fighting and fighting to come back up and to sell that volume of sales that you were getting initially. And it's almost impossible to ever get it back. So that's why nailing the honeymoon phase is incredibly important. You have to have really good images, a great starting price. Your listing is optimized, down to the T, like Amazon posts, videos, everything that you can take advantage of. If there's, anything, maybe discounts, coupons, something off on your first subscribe and save, everything that you can do. And reviews is going to be huge, obviously. So the more reviews you get, the better your conversion rate is going to be. That's the honeymoon phase. That's why it's so important. So when I'm launching, I'm trying to take advantage of the honeymoon phase and build as much relevance as possible for this product, which helps with indexation of keywords. Indexation of keywords basically means Amazon, when they're cataloging your product, they say it's relevant to all of these different keywords. The more keywords you're relevant to, the more, visibility you're going to have, more people are going to see you, and more people are going to buy you. Okay, auto campaign, I have the close match and substitutes. Most likely, those are the ones that we'll start with. Those are going to help us, not number one, they're great drivers of sales, but also they help us discover keywords and products to target. Then I'm going to have the main keywords as, broad, phrase, and exact. Main keywords are going to establish relevance, but also the main keywords in broad and phrase are going to discover a ton of relevant keywords for us, but potentially profitable. Then I'm going to go and take like the other 50 most relevant keywords. Those are like, the top 50 keywords that are like all my competitors are ranking for. And I'll show you how to do that in Helium 10. And it's even easier in Data Dive, which is, I know one of the sponsors. So I'm sure when they do a video, they're going to explain all of that. I'm going to take all those keywords. I'm going to put them in, again, broad, phrase, and exact. In broad and phrase, I'm expecting, these are like a lot of the time is going to be longer tail keywords. So in broad and phrase, I'm expecting them to perform a little bit, but discover even more profitable search terms. And in exact, I know that there is a good chance of them converting because they're longer tail. And obviously this is all operating under the assumption is that the Zap Twins did their homework and their product is better than everyone else. And it solves the problem better than everyone else. And I know it is because I looked at the deck and I looked at Rich Momentum's work. That's we're kind of laying the groundwork here for the keywords. And then for the product targets, it's going to be a mix of some campaigns with the main competitors. That's going to build relevance. And then some campaigns with low-hanging fruit. So people who just launched. So I'll just go into the main keywords in the search results, sort by newest arrivals, and then take those newest arrivals with bad reviews or, high price, unoptimized listing, go after those people, they're low-hanging fruit. That's my launch strategy. And then again, like, all campaigns will have $100 budget minimum. The bids will start somewhere on the average bid. Like, if the suggested bid is $5, maybe I'll start at like $2 or $3. I can always work up, but it's, way more expensive to work down. And once I've laid down that foundation, I don't know how much I'm going to spend a day. I'll launch and then I'll increase bids on like the main keywords, if I feel like I'm not spending enough every single day on auto, main keywords, long tail keywords. The way that I'm going to optimize quickly is two things. First of all, any keyword with good click-through rate or good conversion rate, those are going to get priority. So I'm going to start, spending more money on those keywords. And then I'm also keeping an eye out for negative. Like, I know I'm going to bleed, so I have to stop the bleeding at some point. So I'm going to have a very hard line, which is like, if I'm selling a $30 product, usually like $15 in spend and no sales, I'm going to add it as a negative. But in this case, I'm just launching. So maybe it'll be something more like $30 or $40 in spend and no sales. It's definitely, I've given it enough time and spend. If it converts at $41, that's already, 130% ACOS, which is, it's quite high. Like, I'm okay with like up to 120 maybe when I'm launching. I'm actively adding those keywords as negatives just to not completely kill my budget on keywords that might never convert. That's initially, what I'm doing is, okay, we've launched. I'm going into the bulk sheet or into the targeting tab, looking at all of the different keywords. Anything that's not getting enough impressions or enough spend, I'm increasing the bids. So they're ranking higher. They're now getting more clicks and hopefully more sales. Anything that's performing well, I'm increasing the bids, ranking it a little bit higher so I can get more traffic and more sales. Anything that's not doing well, like if it's doing very bad, ACOS is way too high, lowering the bids. It's spending a lot of money with no sales, lowering the bids. Then I go into the search term report and I kind of do the same thing. And the weird thing here is usually I say you want to work with one goal, like just increase revenue. But when you're launching, the problem is, as much as you want to increase revenue, there's going to be those keywords, because your conversion rate is so low when you launch, you don't have reviews. There's going to be some keywords that are going to kill you. So you have to also, at some level, be stopping keywords from overspending. And so that's why I'm doing both. Usually I'm like, okay, only do one. If you're looking to scale, just scale. ROAS is going to go down, ACOS is going to go up. It's not going to be as profitable, but you're scaling. Optimize, your sales are going to go down, but your profit's going to go up because you're becoming more profitable. But doing both is usually not a good idea, except when you're launching. You kind of have to, because the ultimate goal is, what can I do to increase that sales velocity, the number of units, as much as possible, up until I hit my limit of profit loss. But at the same time, any keywords that are in there that are just not doing a good job, I have to get rid of them, or else I'm going to bleed dry. So that's kind of a general summary. I can jump into the keyword research if you want.
I'd like to hit a couple things home here as well. Product differentiation, having a great offer. I think one thing you said very well was Amazon's a very social proof driven market, and your conversion rate when you launch, it's going to be low. And one thing that you can do to combat that at the end of the day is actually have a better product offering. And I want to drive you guys. I'm going to leave a video on the screen here. I want to drive you guys to the video that we created with Ritz Momentum, one of our platinum level sponsors. And they actually helped us develop and do some very rigorous testing to help us establish, hey, is our product going to be better in the market? And can we steal some of that conversion and market share right out of the gate, taking social proof out of the picture? So that's one thing that I want to say. The other thing that I think you made very, very apparent is you got to pay to play in this game. Launching brands on Amazon nowadays, especially because, doing more gray hat things is completely out of the picture at this point. You need to be able to spend. You need to be able to be comfortable to spend. I'd love to get your perspective, Mina. Let's say that there is just like this godsend profitable launch. And let's say that you're getting all the relevancy, your units are increasing, and you're at like a 30% ACOS. How often do you see that? And if you were to get that, is that luck? What do you think kind of takes it to get to that point?
Launches like that, I've rarely ever seen. I've seen them in two instances. Number one, they're backed by a celebrity, right? And so they're just getting a flood of like people already knowing about the product and they're buying it. Or number two, you go into something that's like a very non-competitive niche, and you have a really good product, and with 10 or 15 reviews, you're already like decent, because like on average, there's 150 reviews on the page. There is a hack, right? Which some people can do, and if you want to like shortcut a lot of the stuff, I don't know how applicable it is to you guys, but I talk about this a lot. Having a variation first. So you have a small version of a variation, cheaper, smaller, sample size, whatever. You start selling that, and you're not too, it's going to take you some time, right? It's going to take you maybe 3 to 6 months, because you're selling slow, but you're getting a lot of reviews. And so you accumulate 150 reviews, and then you're like, okay, now I'm actually going to launch. And so the con to that is, if you're looking to start your business, you're going to delay it by 6 months because you're trying to get reviews in those 6 months. But then when you do launch, you're going to need a lot less money because your conversion right off the bat is way better. And so you're able to launch a lot more profitably. And then with every new variation that you launch, you kind of get the advantage of, you have all of those reviews accumulating. And so I've seen that also work well, where someone had already had a bunch of reviews on the listing, and then they launched the variation, they launched another variation, and they did so like very carefully. But at the end of the day, you are going to need to burn a certain amount of money. Like, it's just inevitable. You just have to be okay with it.
Absolutely. Kind of like a gateway product, right? You have something that really builds it up. But at the same time, I think one thing to note there is opportunity cost. 6 months and you go launch your main variation. Who knows what happens with the product life cycle in the 6 month period. So I love the perspective.
That's totally true, right? It's always like, you never know what's going to happen in 6 months. You have to adapt super quick. And so the last thing you want is to build your business like on a 6 month delay. I think the smart thing is like to come up with a product that's so much better that even with 20 or 30 reviews, they're like, okay, I understand there's not a lot of reviews, but it looks like it's a clearly better, more innovative solution. So jumping here into the keyword research. So Helium 10, you guys are familiar with it. I'm going to go into tools. I'm going to open up Cerebro, and the Zaptunes were kind enough to give me the top 10 competitors here on the market. So I'm kind of like right here. I put in all of the competitors. You can literally copy paste. These are all the ASINs. click get keyword. So I already did this for the sake of time. And you'll notice here's all of the different keywords. There is about 21,000. And we can sort by search volume here, right? To see like what are the big ones. Okay, so you can see some random ones. Halloween, luggage, water pick, travel essentials, Taylor Swift, makeup bags. So there's some random stuff. So we're going to start cleaning up like what are the main keywords, right? So minimum search volume, 500 searches a month. Under that, there's actually, by the way, 2 new features, top keywords, which, you know, they do a bunch of filtration for you, and they tell you like, here's the top keywords, and then opportunity keywords, which is ones like that only, you know, one of these products are like ranking for. But anyways, I don't know how I can go back. Let's clear the filters. Okay, there we go. Okay, back to 21,000. So minimum 500 searches a month, maximum rank. So let's go to, where's the rank? Position rank. Okay, here you go. Maximum 60, right? If a product is ranked more than 60 for a keyword, it just means it might not be a relevant keyword. And then minimum ranking competitors. So where is it? Ranking competitors. I'm going to do 8. So 8 means the intersection of 9 out of those 10 products. So at least 9 out of 10. We can go like even more strict and see what happens. But if it's too strict, I'll just bring it one down. But 9 ranking competitors basically means show me keywords where all 10 of these are intersecting. So all 10 of them have to be ranking for that keyword for you to show it. So let's see if we get something. 1. So it's a little bit too tight. So we'll go 8. 22 keywords. And then I can sort by search volume. And those are my most relevant keywords. So Soul Guard carry-on closet, Soul Guard carry-on closet suitcase, hanging, you know, packing cubes, Soul Guard carry-on closet, etc. Obviously, we all know that Soul Guard is the one that's making this market, right? They're the ones that innovated. I can do 7 and I can see what happens.
Do you want to hear something crazy? Mina, I'd love to get your perspective on this, even for the audience. So Soul Guard is a brand that actually isn't on Amazon. They only sell D2C direct on their website. And a lot of people, you know, they're creating a lot of brand equity on Amazon's platform, and they're yet to come onto it. They have a patented product, much different than ours, but they've created this carry-on closet inside essentially an actual carry-on luggage. What's your perspective on that in regards to targeting? Is that something that we can absolutely take advantage of? Is it risky to do, etc.?
Absolutely, you should take advantage of it. I've seen so many brands explode literally because of that exact same strategy. Mudwater was another example, right? Where Mudwater, they were, I think, doing $70-80 million a year in revenue. They were not on Amazon. And a lot of these D2C brands, they don't understand Amazon, and they think like being on Amazon is going to make your brand cheaper or something like that. And so for me, I'm like, this is like a huge advantage, right? Because you go in, you have a product that is, you know, better, you know, hypothetically than Mudwater, better price, whatever. You get it listed on Amazon. Everyone who's looking for them will see you. So they're like, oh, what's this one? They scroll through the images, they like it, they look at the reviews, it's good, they try it. You know, because they don't want to go D2C and they don't want to put in their information, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a genius idea what you guys are doing. You know, there's other examples like Armra, Colostrum. I don't know if you guys have gotten their ads, but like Armra, they're spending an insane amount of money on ads. I'm sure like these guys, HVMN, I don't know if you've heard of them. Have you seen these guys?
I have not personally.
They're spending an insane amount of money on ads, but basically this is like the next 5-hour energy, right? Like but it doesn't have the bad ingredients. It's ketones and it does, like I've tried it. It helps you focus and stuff like that. I don't know if they are or not on Amazon, but they're like, these are people that create categories. So they're spending so much money outside of Amazon that when you go to Amazon, I mean, it's cool that they exist, but if you see if you see a competitor, like if I launch a product and it looks like it's better, then, you know, cool, I'm gonna go after that product. So anyways, that's the way that I do the keyword research. You can see here, these are the most relevant keywords. This is the search volume. And you know what's cool is it shows you year over year search volume. So as you can see, like SoulGuard is going down a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't expect it to, they must be like maybe dropping their spend, but the I think benefit is that there's now way more customer awareness that this product exists. Everyone kind of knows that there is a suit, like a carry-on suitcase with a closet inside of it, and it's your chance to like take over.
Absolutely.
How many keywords are you typically looking for when you do this filtration?
Anywhere between like 20 to 50 keywords.
Got it. Okay.
You know, so another thing I could do is like go here, instead of 60, maybe do more like 90. Only added a couple more keywords, you know, suitcase organizer. So it added that one. That was like a notable one. Like, let's see if I go to 120, 32 keywords. But again, like the main ones, the ones that are over 1,000, you know, SoulGuard, luggage organizer, SoulGuard, carry-on closet. So it's pretty clear to me which keywords we're going to be going after.
Absolutely. I love that.
So
and one thing,
yeah, go ahead.
One thing I'll kind of prelim is we did a video going through a very extensive data dive analysis with Brandon Young that we're going to be releasing as well on our YouTube channel. And we actually found a couple of other markets that I think that we can target or at least launch a variation within. So when launch time comes, you know, based off what you guys saw just now on Helium 10, that might change, and it's going to be even more interesting for the audience that's tuning in here.
Yeah, and I want to show you guys something real quick. There's one other final thing that I want to mention. I want to show you analytics. Cool. So we're going to have analytics that looks like this, right? We're tracking every single day, spend, sales, you know, units, sessions. The number one metric that I'm looking for as I'm like launching, you know, PPC campaigns or whatever is more and more sessions, like, you know, more sessions. Another thing that I'm going to look at is impressions. So if my impressions are going up, but I don't notice that my sessions are going up as much as I would like them to, I might have a click-through rate issue. The main contributing factors of click-through rate are main image, price, reviews, and star rating. So I would tell the Zaptoons, hey guys, we are driving a lot of traffic. You know, our sessions are going up, our spend is going up, people are seeing us, our impressions are going up, but we're not getting that many people into the listing. If we fix our click-through rate, maybe it's at 0.08%. If we brought it up to 0.2%, we would have so many more people coming to the listing. We would be way more profitable. And then the second thing is, you know, if I notice that my spend is going up, my sessions are going up, my sales are not going up, I'm going to look at the conversion rate. And I'm going to say, okay, what's going on with conversion rate? What does it need to be? Here you can see like a break-even conversion rate. So I need a 10% conversion rate just to break even. So you know, if we're losing money and our break-even conversion rate's like 17%, I'm going to be like, guys, something's up. Like our cost of traffic is very high. We don't have that much profit per unit. We need to fix something. So either I need to be going leaner on the ads, or we need to, you know, create more of a margin, or we need to find a way to jack up the conversion rate. And so like the whole story is in the metrics here. And so I'm very simply tracking, okay, am I getting more people to come into the listing? Are people attracted to the listing when they see it, that they end up clicking on it? And then out of the people that come in, are they converting? And so if I'm looking at those metrics, I know that my launch is going well.
I love that.
Let's talk about that platform. Is that a platform that you've built out? I've never heard of the software, My Real Profit. Is that specific for Trivium?
Yeah, so My Real Profit is a software, but Trivium has custom built everything on top of them. So they're like our partner. So we've custom built everything there. You can access this dashboard through us. It's like our intellectual property. So you just have to hit me up and you know, we'll sign you up. It's like not expensive, $60 a month. They charge 120 if you go through them. So but we have like a massive account, so it's like cheaper. But essentially I took everything that I wanted to see, as someone who's managing a brand, and put it into like a bunch of different dashboards that's very easy for me to interpret what's going on. And so, because I know a lot of software, they build out what they think is like good for them. But to me, I'm like, how can I interpret data and then go take action right away? So that's kind of, you know, what I was going after.
Yeah, I love that. At the end of the day, data doesn't lie. You got to make data decisions. And I love that we can actually look at all that stuff from a high level with Amazon. So extremely beneficial. So Mina, you know what? I really appreciate the time. I didn't think it was going to go this long, but you can see that not only do you know your shit, but on top of that, we're excited to be able to implement this within our brand and to launch that to the community here. So for anybody that's tuning in, make sure that you're signing up for our updates. We do updates on a bi-weekly basis, and we send emails, every other day, trying to build value and give you the resources, the tools, and the strategies that we're using to implement them into your brand. So you can do that. I'll leave the link in the description here. Mina, I'm gonna end it off with you. If there's anywhere that anyone can get a hold of you, get in contact with Trivium, where can they go?
Yeah, so I think obviously go to the YouTube channel. I mean, we're doing a YouTube video together about the launch. So there's more that you can hear more on the side of the Zap Twins there. Website is triviumco.com. And then you can hit me up on LinkedIn or Instagram. So my LinkedIn is Mina Elias and my Instagram is @the_Mina_Elias. So hit me up. I answer all questions. I'm pretty easy to access.
Mina, appreciate your time. Thanks so much. And lots of value here. And we're looking forward to partnering and filming that next video so people can see it all come to life.